Hello Internet friends, my name is Rich. Thank you so much for joining me today in the Toy Alliance YouTube channel. I want to do a really quick video on my complete or almost complete Star Wars 3 1/4 scale collection. As many of you know, if you are familiar at all with this channel, when it comes to Star Wars, I'm mainly into 6-inch Black Series as well as 6-inch SH figure arts. However, I still do enjoy a good old-fashioned 3 1/4 scale Star Wars figure, so I thought I would just do a quick video on my complete collection of the 3 1/4 scale figures that I do collect. And a lot of these I've done videos on before. I don't think I've done a complete video on all of them at once. And as well, I've done a little bit of rearranging. So first off, we have my Tartakovsky, and I'm probably pronouncing his last name wrong because I always do that when I do videos. Animated Clone Wars figures. These are probably the most stylized Star Wars 3 1/4 scale figures. Take a drink every time I say Star Wars 3 1/4 scale. Most stylized figures they had ever done in this scale of Star Wars figures, based on the original micro series of animated shorts about the Clone Wars. No longer canon. But I actually prefer this incarnation of Clone Wars to Dave Filoni's Clone Wars, which I also enjoy. But this was my preferred cartoon. This is probably my favorite Star Wars animated series. Was the Tartakovsky's Clone Wars. I'm trying to say it fast so you don't notice how badly I pronounce it. This collection is pretty much complete. There are a few variants that I need, and if you look back here, I have sexy shirtless Anakin. There's another sort of regular trooper variant I'd like to get, and then I'll probably put that trooper variant there, because I don't need two Anakins in this. But anyway, so there, like I said, sexy shirtless Anakins, bunch of clones. I know there are a couple other clones as well that I'm missing. There's Dirge, Ventress, Dooku. There is Grievous, who made his debut in the Clone Wars cartoon. There's Anakin, Obi-Wan, Yoda, Mace, and nuts. I forget his name. Tinsy, I'm gonna say. So yeah, there you go. I'm pretty happy with the guys I have. There's a few more I could get, but I just sort of like how this fills out the shelf. Down here, we of course have the holy grail of Star Wars collecting, the vintage action figures. The reason I don't have these on the top shelf is I just find you can see them best being on the second shelf. So it's all about my line of sight. So here we go. First row is all about Star Wars A New Hope. Although back when I saw it, it was just Star Wars. And that leads us to Empire Strikes Back. And that will take us still to Empire Strikes Back. There are the Bounty Hunters. And, oh, my chicken nuggets are ready. And here is Return of the Jedi. That Jedi Luke and Leia Bush disguise and Lando disguise are probably my three favorite Star Wars action figures. As well as probably Farm Boy Luke. But I love those figures. So here's all my Jedi guys. Some of the, like that skiff guard really discolored. Not all these are complete. I'd argue most of them aren't complete. Still Jedi. I always thought Pruneface was a bad guy. I say that every time I do a video on him, but no, he was a rebel. And you'll see a space there that is reserved for Wicked. That is the final vintage figure I need to complete my collection. So there we go. Like I said, these aren't all complete. And some of them, like that R5-D4, whoops, I could use an upgrade on him, as well as Sensor Scope R2. He's pretty beat up. So I still have a few things to look for as far as upgrades and getting weapons, but for the most part, once I find Wicked for a decent price, I'll be done. And then down here, if you feel like I besmirched Dave Filoni saying I prefer Tartakovsky's Clone Wars, I am a huge fan of the Rebels cartoon series. And so I do pick up these guys as well. I have the 6-inch Black Series as well of some Rebels characters they've done. But here is the 3 1/4 scale figures. I like these because they're inexpensive. So in the back row, we got a bunch of Stormtroopers and the Rebels style Darth Vader. And there we have Darth Maul from Rebels. The Inquisitors. There is Grand Admiral Thrawn. Callus, who I suppose I could move, spoiler alert. And a few more kind of armored Imperials. There we have a couple of random Wookiees. Good old Rex. And here in the middle I sort of have the main Ghost crew. There they all are. When I was in Orlando, I should have grabbed the Disney Store exclusive Chopper, which has the extra leg and a bunch of his arms. So I do regret not picking those guys up. But there is the, at one point, hard to get Fen Rao. Not at all hard to get right now. That Kanan, I love the head sculpt on that. And if I could fit that head sculpt on the regular release Kanan, I would. But that head's on a ball joint. That one's just more on a cut joint, so I can't. Still a cool figure. There is hologram Obi-Wan. There is Ahsoka. Rest of the Ghost crew. There they all are. Hera and Chopper, Sabine, everybody. There is Princess Leia, or yes, Princess Leia. Yeah, she was still princess then. And there is the C-3PO and R2. There are a lot of Rebel characters I'd love for them to do. I'd love them to do more Inquisitors, Lando. I'd love to get an animated Lando, but or some upgraded or some new versions. So, you know, Ezra looks different. Kanan looks quite a bit different. We did get an updated Sabine, but I'd love to get a bearded Kanan. I'd love to get just a regular Obi-Wan, but I have a feeling this might be it for Rebels. And then down here, we'll also take a quick look at, I got really nostalgic for Power of the Force 2 figures. I had long since sold off most of my Power of the Force 2 figures. But because you can still get them very cheaply, don't let anyone try to say these are gaining value. They really aren't. Mainly that first series where you got all pretty much the main characters from A New Hope, but I also threw in Grand Moff Tarkin. And yeah, so who knows? I might start collecting Power of the Force 2 again if I can find them for a decent price, but I just thought I would throw that in as well. So there you go, guys. Don't hate me because I'm into 6-inch figures. I still do like to pick up some 3 1/4 scale figures. And I have a few others. I usually will pick up any version of Jedi Master Luke in any scale. So I have the 2 Last Jedi Lukes that they did in the 5 POA line. I have those and a few others. But for the most part, these are sort of the main 3 1/4 scale Star Wars figures that I collect. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate the views. And if you do enjoy this, please subscribe. You'll get a lot of other dorky videos on my toy collection. But again, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. And until next time, I will see ya.